I sank into the chair beside them, legs crossed, fingers grazing the rim of my glass. They moved together, hesitant at first, then finding a rhythm. She gasped, his hands guiding her, his touch slow, deliberate. I exhaled, heat spreading through me as I watched. I meant to stay on the sidelines, but the longer I sat, the harder it was to resist. Before we dive in, hit like and subscribe. It keeps these stories coming. If you're here, thanks for staying. Let's get to it. I swear I don't even remember what a man feels like. She sighed, slumping into the couch in our cramped Chicago apartment. I laughed, swirling my wine. That's tragic. She groaned. Months, maybe a year. I shook my head. Couldn't be me. I'd barely last a week without climbing all over Frank. She rolled her eyes. Yeah, we get it. You hit the jackpot with him. I smirked. Damn right. That man knows how to handle a woman. She sighed again. Must be nice. I tilted my head, studying her. She looked drained, not just tired, but hollow. Maybe she missed companionship, but I sensed it was something more physical. Maybe that's the problem, I said. She frowned. What problem? I leaned closer, voice low. You think it's the divorce, but maybe you just need a man who knows what he's doing. Her head snapped up, eyes wide. Sorry, I smiled, sipping my wine. I mean, you don't need to go looking. She blinked. What's that supposed to mean? I let the silence stretch, then spoke. What if I lent you mine? Her breath caught. You're joking. I kept smiling. By the end of the day, we were tangled in bed bodies, slick skin humming with the afterglow. I stretched, fingers trailing lazily over Frank's chest, still basking in the satisfaction only he could give. That was incredible, I whispered. He grinned, eyes half-lidded, smug as always. I let the warmth settle, then spoke calm. She needs this. His brow furrowed. Who, my friend Clara, I said, propping on an elbow. She's miserable, lonely. She needs to feel wanted again. He frowned, not following. I dragged my nails across his stomach, feeling his breath hitch. Maybe you could help. His body tensed. You serious? I nodded. She needs it, and you know how to make a woman feel good. He exhaled, rubbing his face. I don't know, babe. I leaned in, lips brushing his jaw. I'd be there watching. His breath faltered, hesitation mixed with curiosity. You trust me, I whispered. His fingers twitched at my waist, tightening. I had him. Morning came, and I poured coffee in our kitchen as Frank shuffled in, still dazed. We should invite her over, I said, handing him a mug. He frowned. To talk. I met his eyes, smiling. You'll see. A pause, then he exhaled, rubbing his neck, not saying no. That was enough. I texted Clara, and she replied instantly. Sure could use the company. When she arrived, she looked worn, like she hadn't shaken the weight she carried, but her eyes were brighter, curious. We sat, coffee cups in hand, and I let the moment settle. Been thinking about our talk, I said, tilting my head. She glanced at me. Maybe. I smiled, and she sighed. I get what you're saying, but it's not that easy to just... She gestured vaguely. I leaned closer. What if it was... Her brows knit. What do you mean? I reached for Frank's wrist, fingers gliding over his skin. Her eyes darted between us. We want to help, I whispered. She blinked. You're serious? I nodded. She swallowed, eyes flicking from me to him, searching. I held her gaze. You trust me? Silence stretched. Then she set her coffee down. What exactly are you suggesting? I smiled. Let me show you. I led them to the bedroom, pulse-steady skin humming with heat. Clara hesitated her steps, cautious, uncertain. Frank followed, tension in his frame, like he was still processing what was coming. I knew exactly what I was doing. I turned to him, first fingers trailing down his chest, peeling off his shirt with deliberate ease. His breath deepened, muscles flexing under my touch. Then I faced her. She stood frozen, caught between anticipation and doubt, lips parted like she was waiting for permission. I smiled, sliding my hand over her shoulder, teasing the fabric of her blouse. She didn't pull away, so I took my time, letting the first piece of clothing fall, then another. The air shifted, heavy with expectation. Frank reached for her, his hands, slow, careful hesitation lingering, but his touch steady. She exhaled, trembling, sinking into his warmth, letting him guide her. I stepped back, easing into the chair by the bed, watching his hands explore her, her soft gasps filling the air. I crossed my legs, pressure sending heat through me. This was what I wanted, to see him like this, to see her like this, to feel the tension coil tighter, hotter. His lips found her neck, trailing lower, tracing her curves. She arched under him, body responding to every touch, every slow move. I shifted, thighs pressed tight, breath shallow, fingers grazing the hem of my dress. Heat pulsed between my legs, slow aching. Like that, I whispered, voice soft, encouraging, "Take your time." He did. His lips pressed lower, gliding over her skin, hands firm as he guided her back to the mattress. She melted under him, a soft sigh escaping. Her fingers tangled in his hair. I dragged my nails lightly across my thigh, a tingling wave of need shooting through me. She was beautiful, he was too, and together they were something intoxicating. I traced lazy circles on my skin, teasing myself to their rhythm. His hands slid lower, drawing a sharp breath from her. Her fingers dug into his shoulders, her body trembling under his touch. I bit my lip, breath uneven, watching her surrender. "Like how he touches you?" I asked, voice teasing. She didn't answer, not with words, just a choked breath clinging to him. That was enough. The sounds filled the room. Slow, careful movements, heat radiating between them. I thought I'd just watch, just enjoy, but as the tension built, their pleasure rising, I realized I was restless. The heat in me burned too high, the strain too tight. Every glance, every gasp, every soft sound made staying on the sidelines harder. I didn't want to anymore. I rose from the chair, stepping closer, fingers brushing Frank's arm. His breath hitched, eyes flicking to me, deep, unreadable. She turned too, her expression caught between hesitation and something eager. I smiled, slow, knowing. "Go on," I whispered, running my fingers through his hair, guiding him back to the pillows. He followed, chest heaving, body taut under my touch. Then I turned to her. "Come here," I said, voice warm, promising. She hesitated, breath uneven, but moved closer, sliding into him, her body pressing against his as he held her hands firm on her sides. I watched, taking in their silent rhythm, the heat spreading between us all. Then I climbed onto the bed, straddling Frank, hands on his shoulders, his breath warm, making me shiver. I leaned forward, fingers brushing her arm, holding her, guiding her. "Like this," I whispered, lips grazing hers. "Let me help." She exhaled hard as my mouth met hers, tasting the warmth lingering on her skin. She melted into me, fingers curling around my waist, letting me lead. I kissed deeper, hands sliding to her sides, helping her find the rhythm, setting the pace. She followed, her body moving with mine, our breaths blending. Beneath me, Frank groaned, fingers pressing into my back, pulling me closer. A sharp wave of heat shot through me, making me gasp against her lips. I tangled my fingers in her hair, tilting her head, deepening the kiss, her softness, her response fueling the fire in me. The tension built, all of us teetering on the edge, anticipation tightening with every move, every touch, every sound. Her breath grew ragged, her grip tightening on me. Frank's hands flexed, his body tensing beneath us. It was overwhelming, the energy sharp, consuming. Then it broke. Heat flooded through me, my body trembling, breath catching in short gasps. I felt them tense around me, the moment's weight pressing down, filling the room with warmth and satisfaction. For a long moment, we didn't move, air-thick bodies, tangled breaths uneven. I collapsed onto the bed, stretching lazily, a slow, satisfied smile curving my lips. She laughed, shaky, brushing fingers through her messy hair. Frank exhaled, arm draping over my stomach, possessive even now. I glanced between them, heart still pounding. I'd wanted to give her something, help her, but I hadn't expected to love it this much. And I wasn't sure I wanted it to be the last time. Morning light slipped through the curtains, casting a warm glow over the tangled sheets and steady rise of breaths. I stretched, body still humming from last night. Beside me, Frank stirred his arm, claiming my waist. On the other side, Clara shifted her fingers, brushing my skin. No awkwardness, no regret, just a quiet warmth lingering deep. I turned, glancing between them, a knowing smile on my lips. Last night was about her, about giving her what she needed, but now I knew better. I loved it as much as she did, maybe more. Tracing lazy circles on Frank's chest, I knew one thing for sure: this wouldn't be the last time. I told myself it was for her, to help her, but now I wasn't so sure. Is this something only the bold dare try, or a secret kept in the dark? Tell me what you think in the comments. If you like this, hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell. You won't want to miss what's next. See you soon.